The scream was almost lost in the roar of the ocean. Waves crashed against the golden sand as tourists laughed, children played, and gulls circled overhead. But in the middle of all that summer noise, a young Marine lay motionless on the shore, his lips turning blue, his chest barely rising. People stood frozen, unsure what to do, until a woman dropped to her knees beside him, her nurse's instincts taking over before her fear ever could. Her name was Emily Carter. She had come to the beach for one rare day off after months of double shifts at a trauma hospital. Her hair was still damp from the sea, her phone buried in a towel behind her, but none of that mattered now. What mattered was the Marine bleeding beside her, coughing up seawater, his pulse weak beneath her fingers. His uniform was torn, his dog tags tangled in wet sand, and a dark bruise spread across his ribs as if something inside him was broken. "Someone call 911. Emily shouted, already checking his airway. A crowd formed, phones raised, but nobody moved fast enough. She pressed 2 fingers to his neck and felt a faint, uneven beat. He was drowning, but that wasn't all. His chest wasn't moving the way it should. Something was terribly wrong. The Marine suddenly gasped and then went still. His eyes fluttered open for a split second, filled with confusion and pain, before rolling back. Emily didn't hesitate. She tilted his head, tried to clear his airway, and began rescue breaths. When his chest didn't rise properly, panic flickered in her eyes. A collapsed lung. If she didn't act now, he would die right there on the sand. She placed her hands to begin chest compressions when a powerful wave rushed in, knocking both of them sideways. Emily braced herself, trying to protect his head, but her arm twisted beneath her in an unnatural way. A sharp, blinding pain tore through her shoulder, and she screamed. She knew instantly, her arm was dislocated. For a brief moment, everything inside her begged her to stop. The pain was overwhelming, her vision blurred, and the beach felt like it was spinning. But then she looked at the Marine again, his face pale, his breath gone, and something stronger than pain took hold of her. Emily bit down on her lip, forced her arm into place with a sickening pop, and cried out as tears spilled down her cheeks. The pain was unbearable, but she barely had time to feel it. She leaned over the Marine again, using one trembling arm to continue CPR. "Stay with me," she whispered, even though he couldn't hear her. "You didn't survive war just to die here." Each compression sent fire through her shoulder, but she kept going. The crowd had fallen silent, watching in shock as this woman, clearly injured, refused to give up. Blood and seawater mixed beneath her hands. Her breaths came ragged, but she didn't stop. After what felt like forever, the Marine suddenly coughed violently. Water poured from his mouth as his body jerked. Emily gasped in relief, gently turning his head to the side. He was breathing, barely, but he was alive. Sirens wailed in the distance. Paramedics rushed in moments later, quickly taking over. Emily collapsed backward, her arm hanging uselessly at her side, her body shaking from pain and exhaustion. One of the medics knelt beside her, eyes wide. "You saved him," he said softly. Emily didn't answer. She was staring at the Marine as they lifted him onto a stretcher. His eyes were open now, weak but aware. He turned his head just enough to look at her. "Thank you," he whispered before losing consciousness. Emily felt tears spill down her face, not from pain this time, but from something deeper. Days later, Emily sat alone in her small apartment, her arm in a sling, wondering if the Marine had survived. Then there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, a tall man in a Marine uniform stood there, pale but standing strong. His ribs were wrapped, his face still marked by bruises, but his eyes were full of life. "I was told I had a guardian angel on that beach," he said, smiling. "I think I found her." Emily's breath caught. He stepped forward and gently placed his dog tags into her hand. "I'm alive because you didn't give up," he said. "I don't know how to thank you, but I'll spend the rest of my life trying." Emily looked at the metal tags resting in her palm, then back up at him, feeling something warm spread through her chest. On a day meant for rest, she had given everything she had to save a stranger. And in doing so, she had gained something priceless, a reminder that even in our weakest moments, love, courage, and sacrifice can create miracles. And on that beach, with the ocean still whispering in the distance, two broken souls had found hope in each other, proving that sometimes the greatest rescues aren't just about saving a life, but about finding a reason to keep living.